All right, so for today, we're going to jump into exploring fire. So, if you think about fire, we talk about fire symbolically all the time. Being in the fire, baptism of fire, lighting a fire underneath someone, holding the fires and burning through the night, and holding a vigil, lighting a candle in the window. There are so many different things and ways we talk about fire symbolically through our language, because fire really is the energy of transformation. It's destructive, it's creative. Again, it is a purifier. It is one of the elements that seems to be within every culture's mythology. And there's a few different mythologies where fire was stolen and someone had to go and get the fire back. So I encourage you actually to have a look, if you want to, at some little myths of fires. And it's interesting to look and see if any of fire turns up in your dreams over the next week. If you're wanting to join me in this and pull fire into a little bit of your daily life for a few days. So if we think about fire subtly in the body, often this is connected into the digestive system with the digestive fires. So that's one way of looking at it. The other side is the subtle fire also sparks the electricity underlying biochemical communication systems. So there's an element of fire moving through all the impulses within our body. And the Chinese system, I believe it actually connects in with the heart. In the yogic system, it connects in with the solar plexus and the Manipura chakra. And because if we think of solar, that connects us into the sun. The sun is obviously another symbol of fire. So I really encourage you, if you want to, after doing some of these practices, doing a little bit of research around the element of fire and see what it sparks for you, pun intended. And how that connects into working with the soul element of fire, what you feel and what you sense and what resonates for you in your own experience. Because a big part of it and what the work we're doing in this little energy lab is really to just keep coming back to yourself. Because there can be a huge amount of data and background information, which there is on elements. A system of elements seems to turn up in pretty much every single culture as a way of describing the world and what the world is made up of, whether physically or subtly and energetically, and representative of even our own personality and aspects of that. So as you go through information, which you don't have to, you can just go through intuitively and just work with it intuitively and see what happens, is seeing what resonates, what connects. Does this connect with me now? Did it connect with me in the past? And storing that information and perhaps it connects in the future. But what I really, really want you to do is just focus on your own experience. So with fire, we're going to do just a little meditation. It's going to be quite quick because fire is a pretty easy element to connect into, and we also don't want to overstimulate our internal fires. Or, if you're someone and you're dealing with a lot of low energy, chronic fatigue, issues like that, fire can be a good thing to start to work with. Just go slowly, gently, and little bit by little bit, so you can see how it affects you over time, day by day. Fire can be really good to work with to bring in more energy, because often when we're dealing with depleted energy, there isn't a lot of the subtle energy of fire in the system. All right. So, as I like to do, just settle down, make yourself comfortable. If you're driving, please do this later. Or operating any sort of heavy machinery, give yourself time to be in a nice, quiet space. And I invite you, if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, you can keep them open, just maybe lowering the eyes to look below the horizon. And you could do this lying down if you like as well. And so just let yourself move into any position which makes you nice and comfortable. You can wriggle any little niggles out. If you're sitting on a chair, making sure both feet are flat on the floor. If you're sitting on the floor, crossing comfortably, putting your hands comfortably on your lap or wherever you prefer. And just take a moment to tune into your breath. Just following whatever is happening right now, noticing the sensation of the air moving through the nostrils. And when you're ready, allowing yourself to deepen that awareness, to follow the breath into your body, being aware of the different areas that expand and contract. And then while being aware of the breath, being aware of the surfaces below you, whether you're sitting or lying down, the connection between your body and the surface that's supporting you, connection of the feet to the earth. And then just bringing your awareness, just being aware of body, breath. We want to bring our awareness into the surface below and the ground a little bit. This just helps us make sure that we're in our physicality. So, feeling the whole body. I really like to start energetic practices grounded within the physical, because as we move and connect into subtle energies, there we can float away and get a little bit airy-fairy. So I want you to stay grounded in physicality, staying strong and solid in the body. And this helps us stay grounded energetically, but also helps us stay grounded in reality so that we're not shifting off into frequencies. It also it gives us a level of protection as well. So that's tuning into the very center of the heart chakra, imagining as though there is actually a divine spark deep, deep, deep within the chest, a single cell, a divine spark. You could see this as the divine flame or a divine fire. And this connecting in, often fire connects us in with our spirit, as does breath. Our true essence, our spiritual divine nature, which connects us to the divine that is everything and made up of everything, and connects us to our own divinity, because we are all divine. And as you do, just really bring your awareness into that deep center. So here you can engage your imagination and imagine feeling that center if it's difficult for you to feel. You can see that divine spark grow into a single flame. Just see what you notice as you tune into that flame, that essence of fire. How does that feel? And if you find this a little bit uncomfortable to do within the body, just imagine that the flame or the fire is a few feet in front of you. And you can imagine that flame growing and spreading into a slightly larger fire. You can imagine it as though it is a campfire. So it's nice and safe and it's got rocks surrounding it, containing it. Or you can imagine that that's if you've put it outside of yourself. If you imagine it still inside yourself, you can see that flame growing and it's encompassing your whole heart and chest. And as the flame grows, you may decide actually if it's inside of in the center of the chest, you may just pull that fire and put it right down on the ground. And then you can see that fire growing and spreading and encompassing all of you within a big flaming fire. And you can decide whether it's really strong and roaring or if it's a bit more of a gentle fire and flame. And you can be aware of the different colours of the fire. At the bottom tends to be the space where it can get white hot and you get the blue flame. And as you go up, you get the different shades of reds and oranges and yellows. And perhaps you can see some smoke going off the top of the fire. And because fire is a purifier, you can imagine that it's burning up all your little issues and irritations and encumbrances. Often we put into the fire, we may hit the full moon rituals of writing down what you wish to release and putting it into the flame. Apologise for having stormy weather here, so it's beginning to pour with rain, so I hope that is not too loud for you. And so remembering the air can feed the fire while the water can dampen the fire. So you may want to flame your fire with ideas of air. And if you've chosen to keep the fire outside of yourself, and perhaps you're just building and growing and allowing to see what it is and just subtly tuning into that energy of what does that fire feel like. You may decide you want to step into the fire or walk through the fire. So this is where, use your own intuition and inspiration to follow where you want to go with working for the fire. And then when you're ready, you can just imagine that fire shrinking back down, just nice and slowly or quickly, all the way back down into a single flame. And then you can just allow maybe just to turn it back into a spark. If it's outside of you or if it's down on the ground or wherever it is, placing it back in that center of that chest, that divine spark, always there, always alight with the divinity within you and your true spiritual essence. And then when you're ready, maybe taking a deep breath, bringing the awareness back to the breath, wriggling the body a little bit, feeling the ground beneath you, feeling your feet, and just bringing yourself back to this time-space awareness. All right, thank you. So I'd love to hear a little bit of your feedback around how you experience and sense fire. And many blessings. Bye for now.